gummy bears, it's yummy bears, and you know instinctively it's going to, they're trying really hard to copy the brand, and you just know instinctively it's going to taste like crap. That's what this looks like.
I wouldn't think it's that bad.
Yeah,
Okay.
I could see this, dangling in a 2 for 50 cents bin at a lot less.
All right. Very strong opinion from Jane. What about other people? Like, Barry, what did you think? Does this look like a nice chocolate to you?
I mean, I think it looks a little, I will say that they're trying to go for something that's not the norm. To me, quinoa in chocolate, I didn't really know that was a thing until I came here, to be honest. And there's a bar there with it, there's one here. I've had orange in chocolate before. It's not my go-to. But I see what they're trying to do. I guess it makes sense. And I'm sure the chocolate tastes great. The packaging didn't scream by me if it's going to be sitting next to a bunch of other packages. I don't think that the packaging is that intriguing to where I'm going to pay, let's just say, $3 for the chocolate bar. And that may be on the low end of what they're asking. I mean, I've seen chocolate bars that cost a lot more than $3, which I bought.
You said that you're sure the chocolate would taste great. Like, what makes you feel reassured that even though the packaging isn't maybe so distinctive, that the chocolate would be good?
Yeah, I mean, because albeit the packaging, like, I see what they're trying to do. Like, it's not the everyday packaging that we see. It's not like a Hershey's bar packaging where it's just black and just screams Hershey's across the top. They're trying to give it a little bit more sustenance, like that it's made in France and it's transparent and it's from selected plants and there's big cocoa bean on there, and I still don't know how to pronounce the title of it. So like there are things that they're not a brand that's well known, so they're trying to give themselves. I'm sure if they would have made a chocolate award, if they would have won a chocolate award, it'd probably be somewhere on this package, like #1 chocolate in France, April 2016. So I think that they're trying to say that they're a qualified chocolate, and that's what I see. But it's not something that I'm going to just like, wow, I gotta try this now.
Paul, what about you?
Oh, can I ask if a major corporation is behind this chocolate, or is it just an independent?
I have no idea.
Because if they have, then they could alternate between. They have enough research and support to go into.
Does it matter to you guys if it's a major corporation? I mean, you talked a little bit about that sort of an artisanal thing, but would it make a difference if you thought it was a major corporation as opposed to a small
place?
place?
They've tested it in the past. They probably have. They could put numerous research and development into coming up with the packaging and the flavor and things like that.
Okay. So you might be more persuaded by a bigger brand.
Yeah, for safety reasons.
Okay.
You might be, that case where, there's a group of people that are very passionate about chocolate, they do a great thing, but they're not necessarily well versed in design or packaging, and they just coming out with their first product. Like, I might think of something like this kind of scenario when looking at this. And I think the fact that it's 64% cocoa makes me kind of almost want to trade a little bit of taste for the healthiness, because to me, the more cocoa there is, the less great it tastes, but I always kind of like trade those. Like, I'm going to go for a high cocoa, but I know that it might not taste creamy and delicious and decadent like those, 35% Godivas.
Yeah, I always notice the higher the percentage of cocoa in a bar, the longer the bar lasts in my house. Because it's very, I only need 1 or 2 pieces, like 1 or 2 squares if it's a 12 square bar. I don't need the whole thing, like a milk chocolate bar.
Higher percentage, I don't like it. I'm not sacrificing taste. It's like...
But 64% they might have gotten right where it needed to be.
I don't know. It looks like such cheesy packaging. I'm really doubtful I would even try it. I know you're saying that.
But Julie, you were talking a little bit about it. Looks like this company is trying to do something special. What about what you can see from this picture tells you that it's trying to do something special?
Well, it's Grand Cru cacao. Sounds big.
Okay.
Some kind of special cacao, selected plants. Made in France, although it's kind of dying out that it's made in France, who cares? And you're like, why drag all the way from France? We're all about local here and making it from Bushwick out of the same product.
Right.
Transparency, Yeah, I guess that whole coffee bean bag in the background that tells you that it's, you know, very organic and natural and fair trade.
I think, though, that that's the reason why it would be important for the company whose product this is to try and let people sample the product. Because
Yeah.
we're judging the product based on its packaging, and we're not really buying it for the packaging, because I'm not going to eat that wrapper.
Right.
I'm going to eat what's in it.
I agree with you 100%, but you have to agree that most times that when you're going to buy something, it's because the packaging is what caught your eye, it's what intrigued you, that made you want to know
Doesn't
more.
make me buy
It
it.
goes both ways.
Just makes me curious.
So
Well-
tell me, like, that's an interesting thought. So try to cast your mind back to the last time you tried something new, a new kind of chocolate. What made you make that leap?
What,
They-
to
they
try
let
it?
us
to
taste
see
it.
what it tastes like.
They have people-
An opportunity to taste it?
I
Anything
just went
else?
with the ingredients.
The ingredients? And what about the ingredients might have prompted you to try something new?
Lower in sugar,
Okay.
more higher in all-natural cocoa.
I would try any chocolate that they give out in the sampling. And then decide.
I always miss the samplings for that, but for me, because I miss the samplings, it's a combination of the packaging
Mm-hmm.
and the ingredients. Because I'm unfortunately allergic to a few things, so
Okay.
I read ingredients. But if the packaging is intriguing, I'm definitely going to buy it to taste it.
Okay. All right. I'm going to show you another group of pictures.
Thank you.
It is burlap, that's what I read.
Thank you.
You're welcome. They're just trying so hard.
Coffee rolls, very slightly better.
Yeah.
I'd definitely
that
buy this
sounds
one.
So not tasty.
Paul, what would you definitely buy?
An extra 90% cocoa.
Okay.
I'm getting
yeah.
tired of the, I've had the Lindt so many times.
Okay.
And there's very few 90% cocoa bars out there.
They even put the weight.
Yeah, well, it's on the, yeah.
I think this is much cleaner.
Mhm.
I like that the letters are big because
Yeah.
you always get lost in the storefront, kind of like between the little things. Yeah, pretty much they got this much better. I still don't like the logo, but those flavors sound intriguing. It's good that they put percentages, which is always something that you look for.
But, I mean, honey prunes, dry wood, I don't know.
It's like fragrance. you know?
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. I mean, if they were trying to sell a fragrance, packaging is great, but do I want to eat woody noted chocolate or prune flavored chocolate? Yeah, no.
They even changed the
I
made in
would try
France
it.
and they put it the,
All right, so let's talk a little bit about that idea, that the sort of what they're calling the notes. Well, how do you interpret these flavors? What do you think you're going to get in the bar?
Gross.
Yeah, besides the middle one, the other notes, like woody notes, or feels almost like you're tasting tree bark.
Do you expect there to be actually these ingredients inside the bar?
No,
No.
I
Yes.
think,
Okay.
I
Yes,
think
no?
I think that what they're trying, all right.
Okay.
It's like coffee. Coffee has those
Well,
like,
it's
very
just-
subtle flavors.
If you taste a glass of red wine and
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
oh, that has a very oaky taste, it's not, and it's not a bad thing. It's just because it was made in an oak barrel, and then there's spices, and you get pepper and stuff like that. So I feel like they're trying to go that direction with this group of ads, like almost like like you're tasting a fine wine, they're tasting a fine chocolate bar. Like there's no other chocolate bar out there that would describe themselves as having woody notes.
I think this
But,
chocolate is actually plain. Like there's no bite pieces of, you know, rose petals or
Right.
anything. It's just
I think,
like,
to be honest, this is very, very pretentious. I mean, if I just saw the notes by themselves, I would think either wine or fragrance. would not associate with chocolate. If I do see this on a chocolate bar, I think this is incredibly pretentious.
What do other people think about the idea of the notes? So it wouldn't be, like you said, it's not pieces of things in the bar. The bar is just chocolate, but it's the idea that this is kind of like wine, like Barry was saying, it's, you know, maybe aged in something, or it's drawing those flavors from where the beans come from, something like that. So it's just a kind of the idea of like a wine or a perfume.
I've purchased wines based on descriptions
Mhm.
and been very disappointed. I've purchased wines based on descriptions and been delighted.
Okay.
And I've had the same experience with fragrances. So while it is intriguing and it does connote certain impressions, in the end I'm still buying it for the chocolate and not for the description. And so the same way I wouldn't, unless I've tried a wine in someone's home, or a person who knows my taste recommends something that they think I would like, or they gift me a bottle, I would be a little reluctant, depending on the price point. And it would kind of be the same with this. I do think it's a bit of an overreach, but I do think they're trying to put forth an impression and try to elevate the chocolate to the level of a fine wine in their way.
Okay.
And also, there's no need to say very slightly bitter. They could just drop that phrase. They could drop dried wood and floral and woody notes.
I think the notes actually are saying when you smell it, that's it's like, I don't know if anybody watches Doctor Who, there was an episode where they were talking about to get inside, the password to get inside, and you have to think about how rain smells, that when it starts raining, that thunderstorm. That's what I'm getting from it, but it doesn't really hint towards anything because people have different ways of smelling stuff, just like taste buds might be slightly different for everybody. So
It seems sort of antithetical to say chocolate is slightly bitter. How would you write it?
It says very slightly. It doesn't
Very
make-
slightly.
it doesn't make-
Still, it's like off-putting. It's like, here, I don't know if anybody knows Monty Python, crunchy frog chocolate with real bits of frog in it. No one? Okay.
I think the flavor will be very, very subtle, and it's kind of like you buy this bar, you come home, and you take a little square out of it, and you're like, okay, do I feel all those three? Yeah, I guess. So it's kind of like savor, and it's very gourmet. Like somebody mentioned, like just 2 pieces per day, and that's enough. I guess Barry told that. So yeah.
This might appeal to you, Julia.
Yeah,
I
I'll
think-
try it.
I think it's a lot more intriguing than the first one, just because I'd like to see if I could get the same taste or if that's the same thing. And I think it's an original idea, to be honest with you, because every other chocolate bar description doesn't really have that. I actually, from a marketing or a PR standpoint, and yes, it is a little pretentious, I get that, but I don't think you're not going to go to the CVS and get it next to the Snickers, I don't think.
Right.
Based on these descriptions. So, like I said, I think it's an original idea, and I would taste it a lot more than I would just based on 64% coca selected plants.
But would you buy it based on that, without ever tasting it?
Yeah. Would anybody here buy it?
Because
I would try it.
I would probably
I
try.
actually would
I'll
try
buy
the
all
little
3.
chocolate one, because I
Okay.
want to see what woody notes in a chocolate bar. Like, if that's what I got from it, I probably, it depends on what, if it's a $9 chocolate bar, I'm probably not going to. But if
Okay.
it's reasonably priced and it has that kind of description,
I would buy it only from a store that would allow me to return it if I hated it. The idea of turning buying chocolate into an intellectual pursuit is ridiculous.
Chanel, tell me why you would want to buy it.
I would buy it just because I want to know what honey, prunes, and dried wood would taste like. in the
see,
chocolate.
that's kind of where I'm at. And I want to see if I can get those same flavors.
Right, I want to be
And you're
like,
like, oh, my taste buds are dull.
Maybe we are.
I don't see myself running into a CVS for this kind of product because when you go into a CVS, you have more of an idea, more or less, what you're going to pick up. I see this more at an airport. Like a lot of times you have time to kill and you can sit and think and, you know, really try something new, you know what I mean? And I find that a lot of times at the airport they have those products that you don't normally buy in your convenience store.
And you personally, if you saw this at the airport, would you be tempted to pick it up?
Absolutely. I mean, I've had barbecue with wood chips. And if anybody knows what that is, it gives off the aroma. It's a pretty good experience.
Okay.
If someone asked you for like the weather outside, you wouldn't say it's very slightly cold. You would either say it's very cold or slightly cold. So just a word play there.
Yeah, it is a conundrum.
Yeah. I
But
think,
but it may look and sound different in French.
Oh, can I bring that up?
Yeah.
Bill brings up a good point. So I'm not French, I don't read
Right.
French, but it says like, I think it's saying the fabric is made in France.
No,
So
no,
the
it's
chocolate.
made in
Made in
France.
France.
Fabrica-
Fabriqué
Fabrica is
made.
made.
So then how
Just like it
are
says
these
in-
chocolates from the Dominican Republic?
They're
You
using
get
their
the cocoa
beans.
beans.
Yes.
Ah,
they buy the
thank you.
beans in one country and they process it in another.
Thank you.
Okay.
If I did see this in an airport, I would Instagram it and then make fun of it on Instagram.
What about this idea of buying the beans in one place and manufacturing it in another? Good, bad, indifferent?
I guess
Good.
pretty standard,
It's standard.
but
To go for the best cocoa beans.
some people might think, oh, it's too much carbon
Mhm.
footprint, shipping things.
Yeah, but I mean,
That's how we got our
that's
coffee,
usually how
right?
they do it.
Yeah.
All right. So we have some very mixed feelings about this. Some think people feel like it's interesting, you would try it, and some people feel like it might be too much and you'd have to taste it first.
Yeah, I'll definitely try all three.
Yeah, this one would make me try them, this one wouldn't.
Okay. So yeah, tell me a little bit, just like why we had, in general, a much better reaction to the second version than to the first. Can we kind of parse a little bit why?
My stomach doesn't do quinoa and chocolate,
Okay.
so that it just wouldn't work for me.
I think
And
that's,
now, it's interesting because I've tried Lind or Ghirardelli chocolates in different richnesses.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I did it was because I was familiar with the brand, I knew it was something I liked, and I was willing to take that leap.
Mm-hmm.
So I know, for example, that I wouldn't want to eat chocolate that's 85% cocoa. But I would try a chocolate that's 70% cocoa. I'm not interested in a chocolate that's 50% cocoa because that's milk chocolate and I prefer dark chocolate. So having experienced that in a safe setting, something I'm comfortable with, I might take the leap of faith and buy the 70% dark chocolate. If it were within what I consider to be a reasonable price.
What else do people think about, like, why the second packaging was much more appealing than the first?
For me, it would be where they're, like, Ecuador and Dominican. I have a lot of Dominican and Ecuadorian friends, and they always rave about, you know, stuff from their place, so.
Other
Also,
things? Yeah.
this one leaves more to the imagination of what the chocolate looks like.
Okay,
And the cocoa bean has been reduced in size.
okay.
yeah, I think the design is better and the first idea is kind of generic, like we've seen things like that, you know,
Mhm.
just the dark chocolate, although we still don't know what Sao Tome or Sao Tome is. Orange has been done, quinoa has been done. This is like a very fun concept, like, you know,
Mhm.
comparing it to coffee or fragrance experience. So yeah, it's just more intriguing, more innovative.
It's a
And it's
classic
good,
look.
it's a good variety of percentages, whereas that one was just 64, which is kind of like not milk, not super dark. So you're like not hitting a particular market, you're like staying safely in between.
Other reasons why the second packaging was much more appealing than the first?
Classic look.
Classic look?
Definitely is.
Yeah, we got some agreement around that?
Yeah. I mean, they used a much nicer font for their print. They've cleared up their packaging, the graphics in the packaging, so it doesn't look like it's all over the place and they're desperately trying to hit everything. I mean, visually, it's just much more appealing. It's much more cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
They used one font in the second one.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Opposed to the,
Yeah, I mean,
opposed to the thick, Cruz, Cacao, and then dark is like,
it was like, oh, we have all these little fonts, let's play with them, and like, let's make this line this, and we've got to use Comic Sans, whereas this one is, it's just very uniform, and it looked like they've mastered Microsoft Word.
Any other elements to Classic that haven't been mentioned?
No.
Okay, I feel like we got that. All right. I'm curious, you talked a little bit about price point. So if this were a $3 chocolate bar, or maybe if this were a $6 chocolate bar, maybe not. What do you think, if you were just looking at the second package, what do you think that might go for?
$4.
6.
I was gonna say between 4 and 5.
Okay. And would you pay that?
Yeah, I would.
I would.
Okay.
I'd go
Some
as
of
far up as 9
Yeah.
a bar because it's so pretentious.
Okay.
I wouldn't
Would
say
I
because
buy it?
I wouldn't say pretentious, but I think you're right as far as the price point, it would be a lot higher.
Yeah.
All right.
Um,
So I see some agreement. What about it might make it higher than that?
Even higher than 9?
And there's higher, like up to 9, higher than 5 or 6.
Well, yeah, all this Ivory Coast and France. I mean,
Okay.
that's a lot of flying.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
that's what you
and
have to pay
their
for.
arms are tired.
I'm buying local stuff at that price,
Yeah.
$8 to $9. So what is going to be coming from?
You have to think about that and tax and all that.
So I see some nodding about that. What makes you spend $9 for a chocolate bar?
My daughter.
I'm, I thi-
Quality.
Quality?
Funky flavor.
Okay.
Yeah. Sea salt chocolate that they have from Coney Island or something like that.
bacon.
The quality.
I mean,
Bacon.
we're living in a very fun little
Right.
wonderland here, you know, Manhattan and all that.
Yeah.
It's like, to produce things here costs so much more expensive because, you know, every American has to earn so much money to have a good living. That's why it will cost more, and you kind of like put that into the idea.
Okay. So you guys would pay $9 for a chocolate bar. Is that something
No.
some of you wouldn't? All right. For those of you who would, is that something
But not an everyday chocolate.
not an everyday?
No,
Okay.
no. Somebody has to sell you on it. Like the times that I bought like higher end quality,
Yeah.
anyway, the higher price chocolate, there's always been somebody there like on top of you trying to sell you.
I feel like, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I feel like this is like more of a stocking stuffer for my girlfriend kind of thing. Just like something out of the ordinary. Like, it's just
Right.
something to, hey, here's a floral dried fruit woody notes chocolate bar.
Did you say
Maybe here's some
stalking?
prunes, honey.
It sounded like
a
stocking.
stocking.
Oh, okay.
Texas. So stocking stuffer.
What about the idea of organic chocolate?
Whoopee.
Let's start with this. What do you think it means to say something's organic?
It's
Pesticides.
Right.
Without the pesticides, you know.
Yeah.
Abides by the very specific FDA rules that can be gone
Okay.
around, and
Yeah, I
you
don't-
might
There
still
are no
have
FDA
it
rules for
produced
organic
badly, and it can't be
production.
organic.
Organic production is actually not regulated.
Yes.
So anybody could say it's organic.
Yeah.
All
Well,
organic means is you're going to have a higher price point.
A lot of these things are either self-regulated or they rely on the honor system.
Right. Well,
We all know that that doesn't always work.
no, this is true.
The first time I tried one of these bars was in Duane Reade, and they had a bar about a third of the size of this. I think it was $3. I was willing to take a chance for $3 on a chocolate I didn't know,
Yeah.
because it was a small serving size. If I didn't like it, it wasn't much of a waste. And if I didn't like it, it didn't cost me a lot of money. So I feel like from a marketing standpoint, if this company really wants to get their product out there, they need to have smaller sizes of these available in select stores. Or again, they need to have booths. They need to have a way to reach out to consumers in a less mysterious, less risky way. I don't know that I'd be willing to pay $9 for this size chocolate bar of this, but I'd be willing to pay $3 for a bar a third of this size on something that might or might not appeal to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I see some agreement around that. I want to get back to just the idea of organic. I heard no pesticides, more expensive. What else? Any other ideas of what organic might
I
mean?
think there's an assumption that because it's healthier, somehow it would translate into something that would taste better.
The ingredients.
And I've had some organic foods that I didn't like that much. That's because that's what I'm used to
Right.
consuming.
Is that a selling point for chocolate for you? I think, Julia, you seemed like, no, yes?
I mean, it's a first pass indicator that it might be good.
Okay.
Like if something is organic as opposed to not, I would look at it more closely than on the other thing. But I would still look and research and see, you know, what the ingredients are and where things are coming from. And But yeah, I think the idea of organic is being devalued like with every year. There are a lot of organic products and the line is blurred and it's not anymore such a hype.
Yeah, I feel like organic's kind of like a placebo effect almost. Like it's not, you just feel better for eating it, but it's still, it is what it is.
As long as it's non-GMO, I'm fine.
And they throw a nice little price tag on it to make it,
I don't know, when I'm shopping for chocolate, I don't think organic.
yeah.
Okay.
I think organic, like, when I'm
Chicken.
trying to get eggs or
Or
produce.
fruits.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where I need to spend the money for organic products, not in chocolate.
Why? Why is it important for eggs but not for chocolate?
Because this is not an everyday food.
Okay.
It's a snack.
Chanel, what
Yes.
about you?
I'm not big on organics, so for me, you know, just like what Christina said, I would just be mainly a snack.
All right. Getting into the home stretch here.
Now we get the chocolate?
Yeah.
Come on, we want to be rewarded.
And that, kind of pass them around. I would like you to focus on the packaging to begin with. Kind of what do you think of this packaging?
Very organic.
And mailing envelope.
It's resealable.
Yes.
Recyclable. They're
Looks
recyclable
like a
paper.
package, like a UPS package, doesn't look like chocolate.
Looks like a Ziploc bag,
Yeah, or a
but
Jiffy
made
bag.
out of,
And you can-
oh wait, there's actually a metal.
It's like
Small
something
carbon
you-
footprint.
Like something you would ship.
Nacional,
I hope it's easy to open. I guess it is easy to open. It's cool. It's like very tight
It's
inside, but
deceptive.
very
It's like paper on the
old
outside,
school
looks like, and then
on the
like,
outside.
like a type of, what is that,
I'm very
Entire,
curious to see
yeah.
what that looks like.
Cool.
Yeah, this is cute.
it's cool though.
I'm thinking that
different.
this packaging is designed to convey the message that it's relatively fresh and not intended to have a long shelf life.
Okay. What about that conveys that it's fresh?
Oh, wow.
The paper,
Okay.
it's not like vacuum packed or sealed.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look like it was made in a factory.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it just came off an assembly line.
Right.
I like
Yeah.
how they
This is
write
really
in the
nice.
ingredients, non-GMO sunflower.
This is 100%.
Yeah, it has more of a handmade look to it.
Okay.
Also, Chef Alain Ducasse is really well known.
What about just the feel of the package?
Feels good.
How do people feel about the texture and things?
Hope it's not raining outside.
Yeah.
To me, I don't find
Make it easier to open those.
Yeah, Paul?
It feels like, to me, I don't find it fresh. It feels like someone has dropped it off at the post
I
office.
don't really get
Okay.
any
Because it hasn't been
smell.
This one smells like a rose.
It kind of reminds me of a special delivery mailer or a messenger mail
Mhm.
thing.
Maybe it makes it look and feel more premium.
Oh, that's why I don't have that
Not
package.
to me, I keep
That doesn't have
thinking I would be worried more about breakage because it's such an odd shape.
That looks much better than this one.
The
This
label.
one-
Oh, the label.
This one looks like you're just gonna ship it across town.
Yeah, I mean, it really does look like it's going to be shoved in a messenger bag, but I'd be terrified to carry it for
Same
fear that
thing,
it would
same
break
package.
more.
It has a best before date.
But it has like a circle on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
bulb
right
label.
there. It's just different color labels for
Yeah.
different chocolate.
So I'm hearing different things, right? For some people, it feels more premium
Perfect storage temperature.
and more it's fresher, maybe a little higher quality. And for other people, I'm getting a very different thing. It's like a UPS package. Doesn't
Which is
say
not a
freshness.
bad thing.
Okay.
It's a departure from the norm.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it
So
looks
we're
good.
all in agreement
recycled.
that it's interesting.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to figure out how
recycled.
they would pack, they would showcase that on a shelf in a store, because it's so oddly.
Yeah.
But this still
I
looks
mean,
like it's
they'll hang it on
manufactured
the-
way they
like the
package it,
pole.
so.
It's
Yeah.
aluminum line,
Through the-
and
the
the chocolate inside could be further wrapped.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be
Refreshing.
intrigued because of
Maybe
Alain
it has a
Ducasse.
Ziploc.
That's why I would be,
Yeah, but even the expiration date on this thing is on like January 10th, whereas a lot of these are like May
three,
this
like
one-
months
and almost
and
a year.
years.
Yeah, months,
Right,
yeah.
right, yeah.
Which means if you buy it, you better remember to eat it
Well,
soon.
it also gives me, it also has me
2017.
perfect storage temperature, which
Anybody
kind of
see
gives me
this
a
one?
feeling that I can't trust that it isn't before it got to me.
Does the package seem